Hey guys, and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 4. As always, I am DemonFire93, and last time we took on the necessary war, or something like that. And today we're doing a King's Choice. Warjic faces a terrible choice when he learns that Vogel Backbreaker holds his foster father Tarnum captive. Meanwhile, in another neighboring land, the warlord Hundrick holds hundreds of barbarian women and children as slaves, working them to death trying to build a new army. Warjic can't save both. Defeat Hundrick. Lose Warjic. Carry over Warjic and all his spells, skills, and experience, as well as his most powerful secondary hero will carry over to the next map. All of your heroes' maximum level is 25. Let's,
See there, Jack? That pack of mountain dogs moving through the valley?
Yes?
See how the injured one limps off from the rest?
Sure.
He knows he's dragging down the pack.
Uh-huh.
As long as he's with them, they keep his pace.
Are you talking about yourself now?
They won't force him out because they love him.
Yep.
So he stays behind. He will die so that they remain strong. It's not always easy, but the pack comes first.
So essentially saying, go after, not Vogel, but Hundrick, because Hundrick has all of the women and children and we could save them, and sacrifice our foster father. Oh no, what a choice, what a dilemma. A massive gathering of representatives from more than 20 tribes forced me to delay my plans to rescue Tarnum from Vogel Backbreaker's prison. Since my foster father's disappearance, I had been searching for anyone who had seen what happened to him. And yesterday my luck changed when an old man came forward. He reported seeing Vogel leading a prisoner to the nearby town of Bornberg. I had scouts watching it ever since. Tarnum is still there. But this unexpected meeting of the tribes keeps me from acting. After a long meal and the ceremonial introductions, the eldest of the representatives, and probably their elected spokesman, stepped forward. All of our tribes, the man began, sweeping his arms to indicate the other representative, now have children with full bellies, fat cattle, and storehouses packed to the rafters. All of this has been because of you. I shook my head and said, no, we all did it. This is what we've always been capable of. Yes, but you showed us the way. That is why we have come here. I don't know what you mean. The spokesman opened a heavy pouch hanging at his hip and pulled out a newly forged diadem. This crown is made of iron, like those worn by our greatest ancestors since the day of the first barbarian king, Jarg the Conqueror. Its shape, a perfect circle, signifies that our strength comes from our unity. With this, Warjic, we of the many tribes name you king of our people. The old man walked forward, presenting me the crown. I had stopped breathing when I realized what he was about to do, and I admit I was reluctant to take it. I'm still not sure our people should have a single king. We are many personalities, many tribes. In the past, our kings have led us astray. But then, wouldn't I be different? Still hesitating, I noticed that a master craftsman had etched images of battling griffins in the surface of the polished iron. Griffins, I asked. As far as I knew, they had no real significance to our people. Yes, the elder said with a proud smile. Your name is an ancient barbarian word for griffin. Am I a griffin heart? When I didn't take the crown, the elder leaned forward and whispered, is there something wrong? No, the crown is beautiful. I just don't know if I should be the one to wear it, I said. The elders seemed to understand. You have not led us completely out of the wilderness, my young king. We still need a guide. I asked myself what Tarnum would want me to do. Suddenly I knew the answer. It wouldn't take much now for my people to revert to their self-destructive ways. If the tribes were going to survive, they needed help. And right now, I was the only one they had, so I placed the crown on my head as the tribal leaders cheered so loud that I thought my ears would bleed. Survey says, alright, we got our barbarian boy. Yeah, they gave us nature magic in that last one, and now we're a warlord magician. I'm not sure I like it. But we got our 2 starters. Let's get on our way. Alright, I think the best strategy right now is to combine the army. I had been king for only a day when I came to an impossible dilemma. Derek, the last of the Boar's Head tribe, came to me with news about Hundrick. He's building a new army to replace the one he lost, but he's doing it at the cost of our people. He has many new slaves, and he's working them to death in his mines. I turned to the Berserker Wulgar. What do you think? Our people are suffering, but we can't leave Tarnum in the hands of Vogel Backbreaker. Exactly, Wolgar said. I was surprised by his answer. Until that moment, I thought he didn't like my foster father. Tarnum has done much for us all. If we betray him now, he will certainly die. These prisoners can wait a little longer, Wolgar said. I wanted to believe he was right, but Derek's own account of the guards stacking bodies outside of the town stuck in my mind. This was my dilemma. How many will die if I march on Bornberg to rescue the man who raised me, but if I free my people from Hundrick's mine, Tarnum will certainly die. Can I live with the results of either decision? Once again, I asked silently, what would you do, Father? During Hundrick's invasion, many of our people disappeared. They were mostly women, children, and the elderly who lived in the region Hundrick had recently captured. Until now, however, I believe that they were simply hiding in the wilderness until all this commotion died down. Now I've been receiving reports from the scouts I sent to examine Hundrick's territory. They found several stinking, fly-infested pits outside Clomden, Hundrick's hometown. Inside those holes rest the bodies of my people, the wives and children of my soldiers. In his attempt to build a new army, Hundrick was going to work his prisoners to their deaths, and my people looked to me to rescue their loved ones. But what about Tarnum? Could I leave him in the hands of that cruel warlord Vogel? Good question. It is quite the dilemma that you face. Alright. Let the rest leave. Take that. Yes. Die! Damn. Good job. We captured the place. We did a thing. Hey look, we can finally collect anything we wanted to. Alright, we have the world ahead of us. I see the tree. Let's get the area scouted, shall we? Nomad tents. Oh? What is this? Don't like the feel of that. What are you doing here? Fool. You have quite the army there. I must say. Okay. Very good. Your hero is dead. You idiot. Get out of here. That was a lot of men we just lost. Yogg is in our prisons. Okay. Why? I don't know. Ah, yes. Okay, that's where that tent is. Got it. Oh my. They have quite the thing there, don't they? Interesting lands I find myself in. Brawn. Boffmog. I saw one of you for a moment and I want to see... Crag Hack? Guys, we can get Crag Hack. We have Crag Hack, guys. It's unbelievable, I know. Alright, first attack. Well, you certainly have a lot there. Surprise, fuckface. Idiot. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. It was worth it though. To get these fuckers killed. Come on! What are you doing? Standing around like an idiot. Now you're dead. We lost quite a bit, but we got it. Wataga. We captured Wataga. Alright, alright. Get the breeding pens, why don't we? Okay. We control nearly the entire northern half of the map, currently. What is this place, eh? Nothing? Something? Anything? And where did you think you were going? Did you think yourself some sort of tough shit? Because I guarantee you, you are nothing. You are weak. Cannon fodder. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that there, boy. Fire! Yay, we killed our own berserkers. Fantastic. Shiva. You stupid bitch. I don't like the berserkers, really. I want to be able to control my units, personally. So, we're just gonna say no to the berserkers. Okay. Yeah, big ol' no. Alright, what's down in this cave? And now we have the green tent. Hooray! Eyewitnesses came to me today with news of my father. At the break of dawn, Vogel Backbreaker dragged Tarnum through Bornberg's main gate behind a horse. my foster father's hands and feet were chained. He was naked, bruised, and bloody. Vogel pulled him over the rocky landscape for more than 3 miles to a nearby ravine where a crowd waited. First, Vogel took a large mallet and shattered my father's knees. Then he did the same to Tarnum's arms. Those who watched agreed that Tarnum never screamed. He gritted his teeth and writhed in agony, but he didn't give Vogel the satisfaction of a single scream. Frustrated, Vogel threw away the mallet and lifted Tarnum high above his head. That's when everyone found out why they call him the backbreaker. Vogel brought Tarnum down hard across his knee. Tarnum groaned a deep, sad sound, but that was just enough of a cry to please Vogel. That whelp who calls himself king is going to get some of that too, Vogel shouted. No one answered, no one cheered, although the barbarian probably expected it. Then, struggling against what must have been incredible pain, Tarnum waved his hand weakly in the air to get Vogel's attention. The warlord stepped closer and bent over his prisoner. "What?" Vogel said. "Wait till you meet the ancestors." Those were my father's last words. I knew the witness was telling the truth because it seemed like something Tarnum would say. Even in an age when my people pay little attention to our ancient gods, he believed strongly in their existence and the values they represented. When a barbarian dies, they are forced to stand before the ancestors to have their life judged. If they are found unworthy, they are cast into oblivion. Tarnum had nothing to worry about. If he wasn't worthy of entering paradise, then none of us were. As his last act of defiance, Tarnum spat a bloody glob into Vogel's eye. Furious, the giant warlord lifted his prisoner over his head once again. This time, however, Vogel flung Tarnum's limp form into the ravine. Tarnum didn't scream, and as far as anyone knows, his body still lies down there, unburied. Well, that sucks for you, bud. Your foster father dead. Can you take this town by yourself? Probably not. Maybe. Actually. By God, I think we're gonna take it all on our own. This is pretty sad and pathetic, just like the last time. I mean, it's not like bad, it's just like this tiny, insignificant army was able to, defeat everything they had? Really? You guys suck at this. Alright, fair enough. Yes, capture the town. What? You regrouped? How dare you? Down even. Tulsi is mine. So like we're gonna send this shitty army to try and take this town. Don't think it's gonna work very well. Come on then. Oh, great. Mummification. There certainly are a lot of you. Okay. That's fine. Why don't you go down and take it? You did so well last time. You could probably do the same this time, right? No? Volger probably thought that my somber mood since Tarnum's death needed some lending to, and what better way to cure depression than heavy amounts of ale? I agreed only because I didn't have it in me to argue. So at the end of the day's march, we slipped away to an inn. By the time we finished our third pitcher, I was no longer thinking about how I failed the only family I ever had. That is, until I heard his name. A band of rogue barbarians had been drinking at the other side of the inn, and one of them raised his mug. His voice was loud enough to grab the attention of the entire bar. To Vogel Backbreaker, a true warrior, the rogue said, holding up his mug. When Vogel dies, you can be sure it will be on the battlefield and not whining like some little girl like that overrated coward Tarnum. I was on my feet and across the room before anyone realized what was going on, even myself. A stunned shout went up when I severed the brigand's hand as he tipped his mug to his mouth. More than a dozen men surrounded me, but I didn't care. All I wanted was blood. I would have died that day if it hadn't been for Wolgar. We were two berserkers flailing through a sea of warriors, cutting, screaming, bleeding. Even when the rogues tried to flee, I chased them outside. Not a single man escaped my wrath. Not even the man with the severed hand. I found him in a corner of the inn, clutching his wound. Growing paler by the second, I held my sword to his neck. "Where did you hear that lie?" I demanded. The man paused. "Tell me, or I'll make you scream like a girl before you die. That cooking fire over there looks pretty hot." "One of Vogel's captains told us the story," said the barbarian. Vogel couldn't get what he wanted out of Tarnum, so now he was spreading lies about him, ruining his good name. I killed the last rogue with a twist of my sword, and finally the rage faded away. Then I began to feel the sting of half a dozen shallow wounds, and my muscles ached as if I had been running all day. It took a moment before I realized that Wolger was missing. I found the old berserker lying on a broken table. He had a hand on his stomach, wet with blood, and he was even paler than the man I just killed. Wolger was dying. I knew it even before I examined him. "I'm so sorry," I said. My actions had killed this man as well. Wolger laughed despite the pain and said, "Sorry about what? I lived well, and this is a good death as any. As good a death as any. I was beginning to fear I would die in my bed. But if I hadn't attacked those men, then I wouldn't have seen the greatest berserker rage ever." Wolger took my hand in his bloody one, leaving his gaping wound open. "You are king, lad. King. That means you've got to be greater than any man. Today I have seen that. All this talk of peace, community, and prosperity is nice. But what happens when someone wants to take what's yours? Today I saw the man who is going to make our people great again." The tears in the old warrior's eyes streamed down his cheeks into his graying beard. "When you get to paradise, Wolger, don't drink all the ale. Save some for me," I said. His time was near. Again Wolger laughed heartily, although weaker than before. "Don't count on it." I buried Wolger with every honor due a great warrior, including a healthy sum of gold and gems to pay for all those drinks in the afterlife.